I think aren't constitutionally equal to men is actually going to be a higher threshold for you to prove than just rights. But so I'm even willing to go down to just speaking about rights. So what rights do men have that women?
Well, maybe we could talk about like constitutionally then, because like I told you, I don't have the rights. I'm not more prepared, and I'm very sorry about that. Actually, I shouldn't be sorry. I'm just not more prepared.
But it's your claim.
Okay. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like I don't have that information.
That's a really massive claim to make, that men have more rights.
I did not say that. I said women are not constitutionally equal to men. Okay. I believe that because the ERA is passed. You disagree with that point.
But I've tried to articulate that.
Well, I think that's fair. What about the ERA? What about the ERA will make women equal to men?
It passing.
Yeah, but what
define it?
Wait, can I ask you a question? Wait, can I ask you a question? If there was nothing in the bill, and the title of the bill was purely Equal Rights Amendment, and there's just nothing in the actual bill.
And women are equal to men in the Constitution, and that's all it said? Great, pass it. That's what I'm saying.
But you're still not saying what you feel like you're.
Why it didn't pass.
Because it was political, and the name does not mean that is what is inside of it. That's what this person was trying to bring up in the super chat about the Violence Against Women Act actually not protecting women. It's just a name. If you're involved in politics, if you follow this for a long time, you know that they pass these bills and they put these bills up solely so Democrats can look at you, if you're a Republican, and say, Republicans don't believe in equal rights for women. And then people believe it.
Okay.
So don't believe it.
If the issue is societal too, what is like just passing a bill going to do? If it's like a societal norm issue,
I think it starts at those base levels.
Yeah, but how does that change your day-to-day life? And
wait, I actually have a question on this. If the ERA was passed, what tangible changes would occur?
I think, isn't it true that like if the ERA passed, Roe versus Wade would have been protected more? So
what does that have to do with rights between men and women?
Isn't that a right to bodily autonomy?
Yeah, men have no reproductive rights, so you can't make this comparison. Yeah. Men don't have a right to an abortion, or they don't have a right to prevent women from getting an abortion.
I don't know. My dad had to sign off on my mom getting her tubes tied.
This is a feminist trope I hear about. I don't know if there's
not a
any
trope.
Validity.
It actually happened.
I don't know if there's actually any validity to doctors requiring a spouse to consent to these things. Perhaps in years past, I have no idea if this is still.
It's crazy too.
It is more considerably harder to get your tubes tied than for a man to get a vasectomy.
Hold on.
No, my dad had to sign a paper.
Hold on. Wait. That has nothing to do with the consent of the spouse. Getting your tubes tied is a far more invasive procedure than a vasectomy. To start there.
They do often ask about spouse. They do often ask children, and they do play that.
I've
into
heard
a factor,
stories from men all over the country that when they went in to get a vasectomy, that the doctor demanded that they come in and do counseling first with their wife before they made the decision to have the vasectomy.
I don't think that's correct.
Well, right. So this is the thing. I don't think that it's correct to say that your dad had to sign off on the tube tying either.
I'm saying that it happened, but it shouldn't have. It should not be a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it did happen. If we're just using incredelity,
well, if you're just going to call me a liar, then I can just go around the table and call y'all liars all night.
Okay,
well, but that's why we don't use an argument from incredelity. If you say to me, I don't think.
What about an argument from experience?
I don't think that happens. If you say to me, I don't think that happens.
What if it actually happened to me?
If it actually happens to you, that's different. But it didn't actually happen to you. It happened to someone else. But for you to say, I just simply don't think that that's true. If that you can assert that, then I just assert it about everything you say. Yeah, but I just don't think that that's true. Yeah, but I just don't think that that's true. All right? That's why you don't make assertions or claims unless you can either logically demonstrate them, empirically demonstrate them, or in some way demonstrate them.
So the evidence, would you like me to get the paperwork or something?
That would be evidence.
Okay.
I have to move it off of the tube tying thing.
That's what I'm,
but back to this. So if the ERA was passed, what would be the sort of tangible results when it came to the equality that women could expect to receive that they don't currently have, that you can't articulate?
I think that said that Roe versus Wade would have been more protected.
That's not true.
Well, then I like I said,
But this is why I asked
told
if
you
you
I
read
don't
the
know.
bill.
Chrissy, do you know if in the ERA there's anything in there that has anything to do with abortion rights?
I think that
Yes.
she's referencing like making abortion legal at a federal level, but
Yes,
okay,
that's
but Roe
exactly,
versus Wade,
yeah.
that's not what Roe
Okay,
versus
yes,
Wade is.
That's
This
what
is-
it is then. Yes,
yeah.
abortion would be legal at a federal level. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So aside from abortion, which it's not clear to me if that has really anything to do with a comparative analysis of rights between men and women, can you give me anything else that would tangibly change if the ERA was passed for women?
No.
Okay. So then, is that a checkmate?
That's it, yeah. There's
Yeah.
nowhere to go with
All
that.
right, Navy Darkstar, thank you for the gifted 10 subs. Yeah, I'm still a little confused, I guess. But
This is called an AFF.
you know what?
It's my own coined fallacy. It's called an argument from feelings.
You know what? I can actually think of one
Isn't
way.
it a bleeding heart liberal?
Well, I mean, look, I've debated with a lot of liberals and a lot of progressives. And there's a lot of smart liberals. There's a lot of smart progressives who don't make arguments from their feelings.
Okay.
And they're brutal to have drag-out debates with. They're super smart. They're really well-informed. That is not what this was.
Okay.
I can actually think of one right that men have that women don't, although this is geographically specific because in some jurisdictions it actually is allowed. But men can go out into public shirtless, and in some areas women can't.
Okay.
Aside from that, and again, it's jurisdiction specific. In some municipalities and cities, women can go shirtless. Can't really think of really any right that men have that women don't.
Okay.
But no, that would even be a wrong example because that wouldn't be a right. That would just go to the federal government not saying whether or not people can walk around nude or not, leaving it up in the 10th Amendment to the states. And so the states allow their municipalities to govern themselves. Some municipalities say that women can do this, some don't. Still wouldn't have anything to do with the right.
Well, in some municipalities, women wouldn't have the right.
That's not a right, though. That's just that's ordinance, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, it's left up to the states, but there's no rights which are being actually violated.
But I mean, if it's pushed back to municipalities in the states, and overwhelmingly most municipalities and jurisdictions preclude women from going topless, wouldn't it, I mean, effectively in practice?
No, it would be like a stop sign law. It would be like it would just be a law like this. It would be you got to wear shoes or no shirt, no service, or something
Sure.
like that. It would be an ordinance. That would not be a right.
Well, in any
So
case,
in other words, there's no right defined that men can walk around with their shirt off. There's no right
Nothing-
defined that
yeah.
women cannot walk around with their shirt off. There's local ordinances which prevent this. These aren't inalienable rights.
Right, it's not
There's
in
no
the
inalienable
Constitution.
right to walk around nude, right?
yeah. And in further, just, I mean, are you familiar with the legal term de minimis? Mm-hmm. So it's such I would consider it a fairly minor, at least in the scale of what, when people typically have conversations about rights, this one would occur to me to be
Who
fairly
would care
minor.
anyway? You think that if they wanted to pass a constitutional amendment that women could walk around topless, that any fucking men would object? No. Nobody's going to object
Sign
to
me
it.
up.
They're not objecting
I'll
to
advocate
that.
for that shit.
And there's
Okay.
no women out there advocating for that. So it's like, even that would just be a really poor example, ultimately.
We have Brian Rookard. Women are already protected. The 14th Amendment already provides equal protection. Married women's property acts were passed in 1839, and then thereafter, Equal Pay Act passed in 1963. Fair Housing Act prevents discrimination in housing on basis of sex.
So this is like...
Thank
when
you, Brian.
when
Good name.
When you're thinking about immutable characteristics, basically the law at the constitutional level has been completely changed so that people with immutable characteristics are protected via those immutable characteristics. That would be sex, that's race, all of that. Right?
And gender now, because of Bostock.
these are things that are unchanging. So, well, except maybe that one, but actually immutable, right? And you can't change them. The Constitution has compensated for all of those. So you're not allowed to, you can't say you can't vote because you're black, can't say you can't vote because you're white, can't say you can't vote because you're female, can't say you can't vote because you're male, can't tell you can't own a gun because you're black, can't tell you can't own a gun because you're white, can't tell you can't have freedom of speech because of these things. So all of these across the board is protected.
Yeah.
2 chats here coming in. We have Giovanni C. based blonde blue shirt. Bonus points for not butchering your baby. God bless. All right. Thank you, Giovanni. Appreciate it.
Wait.
And then we do have SS Salwoff coming in. Thank you. Thank you, man, for the TTS, or not the TTS, the Streamlabs message. Howdy, long-time listener, first-time donator. Hey, thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Why do all the trouble guests sit in that spot? Question for the panel. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? Are you able to scoot into the table just a little bit? Yes.
So, what's the question?
Let me say this really quick. I have obviously bitten off more than I can chew.
No, you're good.
No.
Oh, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. You're a legend. You're a legend. You came in guns blazing. You're doing great.
I tried. No, I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Wait, we got to get through at least all your notes.
No.
Hold on. Just stay we'll get through your notes. I will fast track.
Can you at least leave the booze?
I'm leaving the booze. That's for you guys. No, I really appreciate
I feel like
you
that's
having
a reasonable
me on.
Contribution.
Yeah, I appreciate
Wait, let me at least
on.
fast track.
No, I
Hold
gotta
on.
go.
You got to go
Can
because.
can this be a respectful quit? Like, thank you for everything.
Wait. You can't just
I'm
leave.
I'm not crying. I'm tired. That's
You're
why.
tired?
Yeah, I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Okay, but at least, look, you provided a lot of notes. Tell you what, I will.
That's why I'm getting emotional.
Hold on,
Like,
I will fast track.
This has been really great.
No,
I'm not
listen, but
crying.
at least hear the offer. You got to at least hear the offer.
Respectfully.
I will
Thank you
fast
so
track.
much.
I will fast track your
It's not a
notes.
rage quit.
I will fast. You said it was a rage quit.
It's not.
I think it was a rage quit.
Thank you so much.
I think it was a
for
rage
having
quit.
me
I
here.
think you can't defend your worldview. You can't defend your worldview. I think you're a coward, to be honest. I think it's cowardly for you to quit because you've been absolutely demolished by Andrew.
But leave the booze.
You did a great job, Andrew. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.
You're not going to defend all your other things
Message me
here.
when you become a conservative.
Snowflake. Imagine.
Yes, she left the booze.
Total. I mean, I typically wouldn't revert to.
Oh yeah, the notes would have been cool.
There was like 80 of them. 80 pages of them. We didn't go
I like
in.
reading.
Yeah, leave the notes. At least leave the notes so we can look at them. Look, I mean, she provided a lot of notes.
When liberals get angry and get called out.
I mean,
on
this
their
is.
claims to
I
be
mean,
wrong.
she said that women don't have equal rights under the Constitution, using a different sense of the word Constitution. It's a very weak Constitution to not be able to have a conversation without just shutting down every single time.
By the way, the
somebody-
TPUSA girl wrecked her worse than I did.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Next, if I can give it to you over there.
I don't understand the point of coming on the podcast if you know what you're
Guns
getting
blazing.
into and then you're just gonna leave.
She said she was coming in guns blazing.
80
but
pages.
Shut down multiple conversations the moment that she got a little bit outclassed conversationally.
We
But
couldn't
can
talk
we
about
look on the bright
Constitution.
side?
We couldn't talk
She took
about.
up a lot of space on that
what
side
we
of the
look
table,
like.
and now
we
there's
couldn't
room.
talk about
I
anything.
was just gonna say.
You can't rate yourself. You
Lot
can't
of
do
space.
anything. Everything. So
And now there's space over there.
But yeah, she's feminist.
Conversationally.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, conversationally. Yeah, conversationally.
Yeah.
Corner, you can definitely
Okay, so we're gonna, we will move you guys a little bit here. So
just figure.
I think, why don't we
I
like,
appreciate the tequila though.
yeah, I think honestly, easiest thing, we'll just have you get out of your seat, you in the middle, and you'll just take that seat right there, I think. Actually, here, let me have you scoot over one, and then we'll put you in that seat. We'll do that. All right, sorry guys, we're just playing musical chairs here. Guys, the only reason I pushed back and I wanted her to stay is she had a bunch of notes, other notes I wanted to get into. Just kind of unfortunate. Oh, by the way, guys, we are, I guess, we are gonna. Nick, you good back there? Nick? They're still dealing with her? Okay, I don't know.